What's up, guys? Showtime here. Welcome back to another episode of Royale. Guys, we have an update. I'm gonna try my hardest to contain myself this video, but I am bursting with excitement. First of all, we're gonna talk about the balance changes. We're gonna talk about the mechanics that changed to the game, and of course, we're going to talk about the new card. Guys, we got so many things to discuss today. And the reason why, well, check this out. Let me start off with the story. Get your popcorn. This is going to be a detailed video. So, 5 a.m., the developers of the game sent me a message on Discord. You guys know I'm not the most active Discord person, so I didn't even look at the message till I was at work. I was at my desk. I looked at the message. Said we got great news, we got an update, and they gave me a brick wall of information. You guys know I YouTube full-time, but I actually work full-time also. I do the YouTube thing at night, so it was impossible for me to get the information out to you. So I was scrambling, and I'm like, how can I get information out to everybody? So I created Patreon. Well, I used a Patreon. Patreon has been created for ages, but I never used it. But this was the perfect opportunity. Of course, the Patreon is free. I'll link the description below. And what I did was I made 3 posts, and the 3 posts had the new cards, the mechanics changes, and the balance patches. And I made a link on the post on YouTube. The only way you guys had access to the link is if you guys were subscribed to me and you had the notification bell clicked. Then you would have seen that I made a community post on YouTube, and that would have led you to the Patreon where you can freely browse all the information. Totally free. Of course, you can support me if you want to. Whale Gang stand up. But if not, you can also look at the information. So in the future, if the developers gives us information and I'm away from the computer, you guys know I upload every single day, but it's at night. But if they give us information during the day and I feel like it's important, it's my responsibility to not hold the information to for views. I'm going to give it to you guys right away. I'm going to put it on the Patreon. So go ahead and I don't know if I want to say check the Patreon often, but I'll give you guys a nudge if that happens. All right, that was a way too long intro, but I had to explain that. And let's as you guys can see, we got no patrons, right? We got 0, but it's free to look at it. All right, so check it out. First things first, let's look at, I guess we're gonna look at the cards. I know that's what everybody wants to know is the cards. So let's look at the cards. The first one, Teleport. That's not the real name for the card, but that's the name that they choose. It's an epic card with a certain chance to transfer the monsters from to the beginning of the path. So when they say the beginning of the path, you guys know when the cards come on the field, let's say it goes from here, it goes here, it goes here, then it goes here. So it has the opportunity to bring the card back to the beginning. Huge mechanic. This mechanic was not introduced in the game before, so it will take the place of your crowd control situation. So if you play like Bombardier stuns, right? It stuns for a pretty long time, maybe like 5 seconds. And we're gonna have to weigh our options to see, hey, is Bombardier better or is this better? Is Cold Mage better? Is Frost better? Because Cold Mage slows things down, Frost slows things down. This right here is gonna put things to the beginning of the board. What we have to figure out is the numbers. It's saying it teleports to the beginning, but who knows what's the chance? It says with a certain transfer chance, but who knows what the certain transfer chance is? We don't know. We don't know if it's likely, if it's unlikely. We have no idea. If it's really probable that it's going to send it to the beginning, huge. But if it's not so huge. Let's get deep into this, right? This does work on bosses as well. So maybe saying, okay, so that might be good. So think about like level 30 where some people get stuck on, well, wave 30 in co-op where some people get stuck on, or wave 56 on co-op where some people get stuck on. I'm talking about Bedlam. You'll have the opportunity to bring the boss back to the beginning. So that might be a tech unit for people that are struggling to get past some waves. But if you're bringing up Bedlam, It might help Bedlam in PvP. It might help people that play against Bedlam in PvP, because you guys know people that play the value game with a Summoner and Mime, you want to get more procs on that. So maybe that might help keep Bedlam on the field longer. Who knows? Who knows? Teleport might see some play. The next card, Headsman. It's an epic card, and I just realized that the mouse is not on the screen. This is going to be interesting. Oh, here it is. Headman. It's an epic card. It finishes off a target whose health is less than a certain percentage. Half as effective finishing off bosses. So this is going to be like a finishing card. So you're gonna, let me see. It's going to be the opposite of like what Demon Hunter does. You gotta know Demon Hunter hits for 20% of the max health. So Demon Hunter is really strong when the enemy has a lot of health. This is the opposite. This should be really strong when the enemy has a smaller amount of health. Is this gonna see some play? You know, I don't know. If you compare this with Demon Hunter, you have Demon Hunter hitting the beginning, Headsman finishing it off. It looks like Demon Hunter and Headman might have some type of synergy. This is me just throwing things out there, guys. I do not work for the developers. I'm not even sponsored by the developers, right? They're just like helping out content creators by giving them information a little bit early. Shout out to the devs. But I think my knee-jerk reaction is Demon Hunter and Headsman might have some beautiful synergy together. Demon Hunter taking a chunk of health down in the beginning, Headsman finishing it off. Let's see what type of animations. I hope these animations are amazing. Headsman should have like a really, really cool animation. All right, the last two cards are legendaries. Don't get your hopes up, because you guys know common cards are very playable in this game, and some legendaries don't see any play. But the first two cards, I think, will have some spots in some niche decks, definitely. The next card we got is Corsair. It's a legendary. It throws a bomb at a random point. Very interesting. You guys know we don't like too much random in this random game. The bomb remains in place until it touches the monster. So that's better than Trapper, right? Or Stasis. Because those, they throw their stuff out, and if you don't hit it within a certain amount of time, it disappears. With a certain chance, it can throw a Grumpy Bomb that deals a percentage damage to bosses. Here we go with the uncertainty. With a certain chance, it can throw a Grumpy Bomb that deals percentage damage to bosses. So I'm assuming these Grumpy Bombs don't affect normal mobs, but only bosses. But it's not definite that it affects the boss. I like the fact that it throws the bomb at a random point. It reminds me, I know this is a stretch, but this reminds me of Teemo in League of Legends. You guys know when Teemo puts his mushroom down, it stays there for a very long time. Of course, it's invisible, but it stays there for a very long time once you ward it. But it reminds me of that a little bit. I kind of like it because it stays there, right, until the monster touches it. So you can literally, so let's put a scenario out there. Let's say, for example, you throw a lot of Corsair bombs out there, but at the same time, you're insta-killing the units as soon as they come on the board. So you can line up your board with a bunch of Corsair bombs, and then once you start getting in trouble, like once you're unable to finish the units, and let's say the unit comes or the boss comes and you tail off on damage, the boss is just gonna slowly hit all your Corsair bombs because they're staying there, right? And it has the chance to deal percentage damage. I like the mechanic. In a really, really strong deck, like a deck that has a lot of damage dealer, like a huge damage deal, and then Corsair just finishes them off as your backup plan. I like it. It's a legendary. Just throwing some stuff out there. The last card that we're looking at is Meteor. It's another legendary. When merged, releases a meteorite that kills normal bosses and deals percentage damage to bosses. The percentage of the damage increases in proportion to the rank of the merging units. All right, let me read that a little bit slower to myself. When merged, releases a meteorite that kills normal monsters and deals the percentage damage to bosses. All right, so percentage of the damage increases in proportion to the rank of the merging units. All right, so in order for this to be really playable, I don't know. it's gonna have to do damage when it's not being merged, because if not, it's just gonna take up a space. But let me take that back a little bit, because Shaman sees a lot of play, and it does nothing when it's just on the field. So this would, you're not going to be able to have this and Shaman in the same deck, because Shaman will be taking up a spot, Meteor is going to be taking up a spot, and Shaman only does stuff when you merge, and Meteor is only going to do stuff when it merges. We will see. If Meteor does some nice damage on top of that, or if it has some other type of utility on top of that, it will see play, but it will see play with players that don't have Shaman. I don't think Shaman and Meteor are going to be able to be played in the same deck. That's just too many opportunities not to be able to do any damage. But I like the concept. I don't like the percentage chance to deal damage to the bosses, because if the whole point of this card is to do damage when it's merged, I want that to be definite. And I'm just thinking, like I said, these are just knee-jerk reactions. I have no idea how the card is going to work in concept, but it looks like when you merge, then it's going to throw things up. It's going to throw Meteor out, and it's a chance to do like a huge percentage to the bosses, right? Oh no, it's not a chance. I'm reading it wrong. Where merge releases a meteorite that kills normal monsters and deals percentage damage to the bosses. Oh, so it does. It's no RNG. I like it, but still stays the same. I don't like it with Shaman, but I do like it in place of Shaman. You dirty Shaman players. All right, so what's next? What will we look at next? Wow, this video is too long. I'm thinking we cut it there, and yeah, this is too long. All right, we're just gonna cut it there. We're gonna upload another video. This will be a double upload day. Stay tuned. After this video, you will see another video with the balance changes, and what is it? The balance changes and the mechanics change. So the balance change and mechanics change, I'll probably throw that in another video together, because this is already 12 minutes long. Guys, my name is Showtime. I upload Rush Royale content daily, and we live stream right here on YouTube. So go ahead and click the bell notification so you get an alert when we live stream. Would love to have you there to continue the Rush Royale conversation. And if you want to check this out on your own, I have the link in the description of this video. You can go to the Reddit. You can go to the Patreon, which is free to look at. It's free to browse, and you can look at it at your own leisure. Of course, support is welcome. Enjoy your night. More importantly, enjoy the rush. Peace.